So this is why you should never ask for a toy in your Happy Meal.
Wait, why? The toy's the best part.
Yeah, but there's this legend of this little brunette girl who really wanted these Happy Meal toys that were like little dolls that everybody wanted. So she went to McDonald's, got her Happy Meal, but the worker that gave it to her seemed really worried when he handed it to her. But she didn't really care, so she got her Happy Meal, went home, and opened her Happy Meal toy, which is a little doll in a white dress and blonde hair.
Okay.
So she decided to set up the doll on her dresser that was looking at her bed, and she went to sleep. But the next day, she woke up feeling super weird, and she looked at the doll, and the doll looks like the face changed a little bit. Like the doll actually had a dimple now when it didn't before. But she just left it alone and didn't care. And then the next day, she actually woke up again feeling super sick this time. So she decided to stay home from school, but she looked at the doll again, and it looked like the doll's hair was actually getting a little bit darker. And even when her mom came in the room to check on her, she noticed that the doll looked really similar to her daughter. Like she was really like shocked that it looked so similar.
What the heck?
So then the third day comes around, and the mom notices that the daughter never. So you should never try to play musical chairs alone.
What's wrong with playing musical chairs?
So apparently this is one of the most dangerous games. Like people advise others to never even try this, but all you have to do to play is have a match, a chair, and a recording of the song Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Like, you know that super creepy song?
I absolutely hate that song.
So first, you can only play this game between midnight and 3 a.m. and you need to be in a super dark room with no lights, and you need to close the door. And then you put the chair in the middle of the room and you hold a match in your hand, but you don't light it yet.
Okay.
Then you start the recording of Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and you walk around the chair 6 times super slowly. And if the music stops, you sit down as fast as possible and you light the match. And that means you won the game, so you're done. But if the music keeps playing, that means nobody wants to play with you. And this is where it could get really dangerous. So do you know the Willy Wonka theory?
No.
Okay, so we all know the story of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but what if I told you it's not what you think?
What do you mean?
Okay, so I saw a video by Fear Lumacy, and there's a theory that Willy Wonka is actually a killer.
How is he a killer?
Okay, so in the 1971 film, we have 4 spoiled children. We have Mike, Augustus, Violet, and Veruca. And they all fall to temptation in rooms that cater to their liking. Like Mike in the TV room, or Violet with the gum. It's almost as if it were planned. And Willy Wonka barely tries to help or stop the kids.
Yeah, it does seem like it was planned.
Yeah, and after each kid fails, we never see them in the movie again, so we don't know what happens to them. So the theory is that in the 1971 version, Willy Wonka kills the children because he feels it's the only way to get rid of greedy people. But they had to change that in the 2005 version of the movie.
Willy Wonka's just been canceled.
Do you know all the scary things that have been happening at the Euphrates River?
What's going on there?
Okay, so the Euphrates River is actually located in the Middle East, and it's considered one of the longest rivers in the world, but it's actually drying up. Like, it's almost completely dry. But where the river's drying up, they're actually finding caves and different structures that have been under the river this entire time. But it's actually really scary that they're finding this.
I don't get what's so scary about that.
So what's crazy is the drying up of the Euphrates River is actually written in the Bible. And in the book of Revelations chapter 9:14 through 9:15, it says, "Release the 4 angels bound to the great river Euphrates." And then it says the angels were released to kill 1/3 of all mankind.
So what you're saying is when the river dries up, it's basically the end of the world.
Yeah, and just to put that number in perspective, 1/3 of the world is 2.6 billion people. And it's just super weird that they're finding all these caves under the Euphrates River.
Do you know what a coffin confessor is?
What is that?
So a coffin confessor is basically giving you a voice after you die.
What?
So there's this guy named Bill Edgar, and he's a coffin confessor. So like right before someone dies, they go up to Bill and say, like, "Hey Bill, like I hated this person, and I want you to go confess this at my funeral." So basically they have Bill expose everyone they want after they die.
That's epic.
So in one case, a guy was dying of cancer, and he told Bill, "When I die, make sure you go to my funeral and confess to everybody that my wife was cheating with my best friend." And he also had Bill call out 3 of his friends that were at the funeral because they were not good friends to him when he was alive. So Bill stopped the funeral and went on stage, and he got out this letter, right, that the victim wrote. And he called out the 3 friends that were at the funeral that were actually really bad people to him. So they had him kicked out. And then Bill exposed that the wife was actually cheating with the man's best friend. So basically Bill exposed everyone that the guy that died didn't like.
So you're telling me you could pay this guy Bill to come to your funeral after you die and expose everyone you didn't like?
Yeah, and that's actually Bill's full-time job. He gets paid a lot of money to do this. Do you know the dark up theory, how Carl killed his wife?
What?
So we see throughout the scene them go through their ups and downs, and we see how they couldn't have kids, and we see how Ellie dies. But what if I told you there's a theory that confirms how she died?
No.
So think about it. We know that Carl was 78 years old at the beginning of Up, which makes him born in the 1930s. And we know that Ellie's around the same age as him, so she was also born in the 1930s. And we see how Carl buys Ellie a house, but it's like really beat up, and it's older than them.
Right, it's pretty old looking.
So this is where the theory comes in. There's the theory that Carl's decision to buy the house is actually what killed Ellie.
What?
So the houses that were made before the 1940s in the United States, especially in Utah, where Up takes place, were found to have high levels of lead in their paint.
Oh, don't tell me.
So I saw a Reddit post, and lead exposure could actually lead to reproductive issues. And that's why we see Carl and Ellie have a hard time having kids. They don't have kids. When you experience lead poisoning, it kills you over time because lead poisoning gets stuck inside your bones and decays your bones over time, eventually killing you. And that's why, too, Ellie has a hard time climbing up the hill when she gets older because her bones are decaying.
I honestly think this is the saddest theory I've heard.
Do you know how to tell if someone's spying on you in a public bathroom?
No.
So obviously no one wants to get spied on, especially in the bathroom, but forensic detectives have actually released the most common ways people get spied on in the bathroom. And they found the most common devices that are put in public bathrooms to spy on people.
There's actually devices in the bathroom?
Yeah, so if you ever notice like a little wire in the toilet, it looks like a filter or something, like a white wire. It's actually a camera used to video people's back ends, and it's been found in fast food restaurants like Whataburger.
Okay, that's disgusting.
And you know in public bathrooms, like behind the stall door, like when you close it, there's like a hook on the door. Like you can hang up your backpack, your jacket, or whatever you need to like put on the door.
Yeah.
So recently they found the most popular type of hidden camera in bathrooms, and it's actually that hook. And it looks like a real hook, but really there's like a little dot, and it's actually a camera recording you.
Dude, that's really creepy because when you're sitting down, the hook is literally right in front of you, like looking at you.
Another popular way people spy on you is they use tissue boxes to spy on you.
What?
So there's special tissue boxes like with a black casing around the tissue box. So it looks like a normal tissue box, but really there's hidden cameras in the casing. So you think it's a normal tissue box, but really it's videotaping you. Do you ever wonder what foods kill you faster?
That's honestly one of my biggest fears.
All right, luckily for you, I got Gordon Ramsay's son here to confirm this. All right, come on, Nick.
So it's been proven by the University of Washington that every hot dog you eat takes off 36 minutes of your life. So that means 2 hot dogs takes over an hour of your life away.
I've eaten so many hot dogs in my life.
Well, luckily they also found that eating a PB&J adds 33 minutes to your life. And baked salmon and rice and beans can add 10 to 15 minutes to your life.
Now all everyone's gonna eat is PB&J sandwiches and salmon all day.
Have you heard of the theory about siblings?
No.
So you know in a family, like say there's 3 kids, right? You have the oldest, the middle, and the youngest. Well, scientists have found that the order you're born in, like your birth order, can actually tell your future.
What do you mean?
So I read this article and scientists found that the oldest child is actually a really good leader in business, very competitive, and found that they make a lot of money. And most of them work in government, law, or in the medical field. And they found that half of the Nobel Peace Prize winners are actually the oldest child in their family.
I bet the youngest child is the best though, huh?
Just wait. So the middle child is found to actually be really good at negotiating, they're rebellious, and they're found to be closer to their friends than they are their family. They're also the most level-headed out of all their siblings. Famous people that are middle children are Martin Luther King Jr. and Bill Gates.
I'm still waiting for the youngest child.
Okay, so the youngest child has been found to be very charming, creative, and funny, but can be very manipulative when they want to get their way. You'll like this. It's also found that the youngest child is found to make more money than the middle child and the oldest child. Some famous celebrities that are the youngest child in their family is Harry Styles and Ariana Grande.
Now everyone's just gonna send this to their siblings and it's gonna create a huge argument.
Did you know that you can tell if someone's a good person based on their favorite color?
Wait, what?
So research has found that people's favorite color tells a lot about their personality and the psychology of their brain.
Oh boy, everyone's just gonna start exposing all their friends and family.
So if someone's favorite color is blue, scientists found that they are very loyal friends. They put other people's needs before their own and overall are very good people. If someone's favorite color is green, they are very hardworking and smart, but have a hard time trusting people and can tend to be a very jealous person.
Well, I don't got any green on.
I guess it's a good thing. So if your favorite color is pink, they are very loving and compassionate people and are very dependable. If someone's favorite color is red, they're natural born leaders and like to be the center of attention, but people tend to respect them a lot more than the average person. If someone's favorite color is purple, they like to help people and are very creative, but sadly can sometimes be very difficult to deal with.
Dude, I'm gonna go ask all my friends what their favorite color is now. Have you heard of the theory that all rain and snow is fake?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I saw a video by Austin Vro and someone tried to melt a snowball with a lighter and it didn't melt. He said it was like burning plastic and he even left the snowball on his kitchen table for days and it didn't melt and it was shown all over the internet.
The snow didn't melt?
No, but soon after, the man mysteriously died. And back in the 1960s, there was a secret operation called Operation Popeye, where they would put chemicals in the clouds to make it snow or rain. And they called this weather warfare. But when the public started to hear about it, it was denied that it was real.
That's crazy if they can make it snow and rain.
I know, but in later years, weather warfare was banned. But why would you ban something if it allegedly wasn't real? And the Office of the Historian has an article stating that Operation Popeye actually worked, and they were able to control the weather by making it snow and rain.
This may sound kind of weird, but I've eaten a lot of snow.
Me too! So there's this school in South Africa that claims there was a real alien sighting, but what's crazy about this is they said that there was 62 students that saw the aliens.
How are you supposed to believe a bunch of kids claiming they saw an alien?
Right, but what's crazy is reporters then went onto the school site and sectioned off the kids and asked them what they saw. And they all had the same story and same explanations of what the aliens looked like. They said they all had really big black eyes and there was tall figures standing next to a silver disc in the trees.
So they all interviewed the kids and each kid had the same story.
Yeah, and to push it even further, they asked the kids to draw what they saw. And the kids all drew the same exact thing. So it looks like they all saw the same exact thing.
That is so freaky that they all drew the same thing. Have you ever heard of the Phineas and Ferb theory?
No, what is that?
This is going to ruin your day again.
Again?
We all know Phineas and Ferb is about two brothers that go on these crazy adventures, and their sister Candace always tries to get them in trouble.
Right.
But this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Phineas is actually dead and isn't really there.
Okay, no way.
It's actually Candace's imagination because she misses her brother Phineas and wishes he was there for Ferb.
What?
You know like how the show says there's 104 days of summer?
Yeah.
There's actually 189 episodes, so how does that make sense?
Wait, what the heck?
The show was on for 4 seasons. The kids stay the same age. They never age. You know why?
Why?
Because Candace only remembers Phineas at that age because that's the age he died. She never saw him get older, so she doesn't know what he looks like.
No.
Whenever Phineas and Ferb are doing something crazy, Candace is always like, Mom, look at what they're doing. And the mom doesn't see anything. She's like, what are you talking about? She feels bad for Candace because she knows she's just imagining her brother because she misses him.
What? Why does this make so much sense?
I know, it's so sad.